I wanna be a billionaire so freaking bad.
And now, back to Darbe Nokes, the credit gal, sharing her tips to solve your credit challenges.
I wanna be on the cover of Forbes magazine.
Hi, Darbe Nokes. Welcome back, the credit gal, and I'm with Dan Sterkel. You know, it's Circle with the ST on the front. I'll make sure you say your name correctly. He is the general manager of Valencia Nissan.
Nissan of Valencia.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
See? Nissan of Valencia.
Right.
I knew that. Thank you. And we were talking before the break about, you know, what Valencia Nissan does.
That's okay.
And I know. Thank you for being with me here.
It's easy that way.
I know. Blah, blah, blah. Get a little tongue twisted here. And we were talking about, you know, what y'all do in the community. And but now I want to get back to, you know, what's the best way to own a vehicle? Like what should be considered in making that decision and owning a vehicle and leasing and buying? And I want you to educate us on that.
Well, that's a great question. I really think the first answer, obviously, is pay cash. If you're going to buy a car and you can afford to pay cash, you pay cash. The other event, leasing and purchasing are, you know, really depends on how you drive and how you feel about the car. Because if you can get 0% for 60 months or what have you, there's step two. That's the same thing as paying cash if you can get 0%. You're just, you know what I mean? You're taking a loan, but you're not paying anybody for that loan. So that's a good way to go. But leasing, a lot of people own a car for 3 years, 4 years, and they trade them in. They say, I will never lease. I will never lease. So they go 60 months, sometimes 72 to lower the payment. 3 years later, they're trying to get out of the car. And then, you know, they could have some equity, or they could be about even, or they could be upside down. When you lease a car at the end of 3 years, guess what? You're not negative. You're not upside down. You just get right into another car. Yeah, I mean, there's some mileage constrictions, but even then, usually it's not that bad. So people, just like if I want to go buy stock and you're my stockbroker, what do you own? That's what I'm going to ask you. If you come to us, to our dealer or any dealership, you know, what do? Most of the salespeople and the managers lease vehicles. The reason is there's no expense to it. For 3 years, you don't have any warranty. You don't have any money out of pocket because it's all under warranty. You know what your payment is. It doesn't change. Yes, you may own this car that's 5 years old and 78,000 miles on it. When training goes out or something happens, guess what? You're making payments. You just didn't know what the payments were. And
I love that. And, you know, I personally have leased for many years because I have 4 kids now under 17. And I always drive in those big cars. You know, they fit all those kids in it, plus 4 more. And I would give it back. You know, I give it back, Cheetos, whatever. And yeah, there's a little charges here and there, and miles. Absolutely, you got to pay attention to those miles. Sure. And I'm sure that's one of the first questions you ask when leasing a vehicle.
You could set that up to 25,000 miles a year. So
yeah, 25. But I'm a soccer mom, so you can imagine how many miles driving back and forth from Malibu, where I live, to Bakersfield every weekend. That could add up in miles, or San Diego, etc. But you know, but that just does make sense. You know, leasing a car, unless, like you said, you love it and, you know, you're going to have it for the next 20 years.
Sure.
Because is it true, Dan, that when your car you roll it out of the dealership, it does depreciate immediately? Is that, I've heard that myth.
One of the things about leasing, you know, as soon as you leave the car, you didn't pay the tax and license. So when you purchase a vehicle, you're out the tax and license. So you already owe more on the car than what you just paid for it. But there's depreciation because, you know, someone comes in, wants to buy a 2014 Altima. Well, this one is used. You know, the guy took it home. Even if he took it home for a day, it doesn't matter. You have to sell it used, or you can buy a brand new one. You know, you got to be $2,000 to $3,000 difference in order for it to make sense for somebody. So yeah, that's what you lose really when you drive a car off a lot.
So
But it catches up. The first year sucks, but after 2 years, and then that's why when people lease, 3 years is the best way to go, because usually that's the best point.
Good. I'm glad I've been doing the right thing, because I'm 3 years and I just give it back, and
there you go.
I get a brand new one.
Perfect.
You know, I love. You know, I'm not going to tell you I'm a Ford girl, but it's nothing against Nissan. But
right.
I've just been
a
Ford girl.
I sold Fords for a long time.
Did you? Okay.
God bless America and Ford. I love
there
Ford.
You go. God bless America. Okay, and let's talk about how about personal vehicles and family vehicles.
You know, that's one of the things about being a car salesman. It's not about, hey, what do you want to buy? Because sometimes people don't know what they want to buy. And it's really up to us to ask the questions. What are you using it for? You know, who's going to be in this car? Who's going to be driving that car? So, yeah, the personal ones, you know, you may have 6 people in it. You know, you may only have 2 people in it. So, you know, you have the 2 doors, I think, are really kind of going away. You know, the 4-door cars look so good now, so people are okay with that. But most 4-door vehicles only sit 5 people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. And what right now, with Nissan, what is your top selling car? Like, what is that?
Right now, there's three really. There's the Nissan Altima, great car, the Nissan Sentra, which is another great car, and the Nissan Versa. Really, if you took the three together, sometimes I couldn't tell you which one is which until they're together because of the size difference. But they're all just really good looking cars.
And what
They're
is the
almost 40
price
miles to the
point?
gallon. Price point, they start at about $12,000
Okay.
for the Versa. The Sentra is $15,000 to $17,000, and then you've got Altima that's somewhere from 18 to up to 30, depending on your options and what have you. But
That's
these
great
are all
price.
high 38 miles to the gallon. I mean, they're
And I saw one, the last one you just said, the
probably the Altima or the Sentra or the Versa.
The Sentra.
The Sentra,
The
yes.
Sentra. And I saw it the other day. I mean, they're looking really
Oh
good.
yeah, they've done such a great job. These cars look fantastic.
I mean, the body style and everything, they're changing. I thought, I couldn't tell. I mean, I was like, what is that? Is that a Mercedes? I mean, I'm trying to all of the cars are,
Yeah.
that the Nissans have really,
They've
really
revamped their body styles the last 2 years.
body style. And 40 miles to the gallon, is that what you said?
Yeah, you get 38 on some, 39 on some. So
40
36,
miles to the
37. I
gallon.
mean, that's a lot.
And do y'all have the plug-in cars?
We have one of the few. At the beginning was the only electric car, all electric. There's no safety, so it's an all-electric car, and it's a perfect third vehicle. It's a perfect vehicle for around town. Depending on your driving habits, I mean, it's geared to go 100 miles, but sometimes you can go further, and sometimes you would go less. Depending on your driving habits, if the air is on, if the radio's on. But the Leaf is just a fantastic car. Zero emissions.
It's called a Leaf.
Yep, Nissan Leaf. Zero
Nissan
emissions.
Leaf. I love that.
No gas bills.
I love that. Well, I've been with Dan Sterkel, and we're going to take a little bit of a break. You're listening to Hometown Station AM 1220 KHTS.